Are you a short-term or a long-term thinker? Do you have the patience to wait? Or do you want it now? You want it right now? You want this video right now? You're not even gonna wait until I've done the show reel for you to get into today's video. So today's message is all about understanding the difference between short-term thinking versus long-term thinking and what it really does on a psychological level to your confidence and what you can do, what steps you can take to start moving towards the type of thinking that's gonna help you compound and build that confidence. You'll feel a difference quickly, but the results will happen over a period of time. So without any further delay, you've got to be patient because now it's show reel. Someone messaged me the other day who's going through this 30-day program and they said to me, Pete, you're not teaching confidence. And I'm like, really? And they said, yeah, you're teaching self-awareness. And I'm like, okay, tell me about that. And they said, well, self-awareness is even more important than confidence. So I took this as a compliment. And they said, because if you have self-awareness and if you understand your own psychology, if you understand your strengths and the areas that you need to work on, then that all leads to increasing your confidence throughout your life. And I thought it was a pretty cool way of looking at it because really in life it is about becoming the master of your own mind, because your mind makes an incredible servant, but if your mind is in control, then you're in trouble. And unfortunately in today's world of short-term pleasures and quick fixes, we've become addicted as a society. I'm not saying you, but as a species, we've become addicted to the now. I don't mean living in the present, like, I mean, I want to feel good now. I want to get myself out of pain right now. I want to eat right now. So let me just go on my app and everything is accessible through our smartphones. Smartphones, incredible invention, but again, these tools have been created to be used, but instead they are using us. Our mind has not had the software update yet where it is adapted for today's world. We are still in that place of the mind setting up protection, and when you have pleasure, it means that you've found safety for you and your family. But if we experience pain, it means it's an action signal that we need to do something. But unfortunately, with today's world, as soon as we experience just a little bit of pain, what do we do? Starbucks. What do we do? Netflix. What do we do? Let's reach for that chocolate bar. And unfortunately, when you do this, what you're doing is actually you're taking away from who you truly are. I believe, and I might be right, I might be wrong, but I believe strongly that we all have our ultimate potential and what we can grow into in our lives, and it's never too early and it's never too late to become the best version of you, or at least be in that peak state in your life. I said peak state, yeah? Okay, so what is taking all of this away? Well, think about it. Consumerism is one. We've brought this up so many times, because if you every single time have a little bit of pain, and we've been taught that pain is bad, like, oh my goodness, you don't want pain. I'm actually pleased that I left my school at the time that I did, because I heard that when I left that school, they stopped doing competitive sport because everybody's a winner. You see, we don't want our kids to experience any pain anymore. We don't want them to go through the pain of losing at a sports match and getting those valuable lessons. We've forgotten the message that when you experience pain, you get something far greater. It's not the pain that truly matters, it is the lesson that you get from it. That's why you never actually fail. You get feedback. And it's with that feedback that you can grow, that you can create thicker skin, and that you can get through those challenges in life. But if every time we experience that little bit of pain, we're reaching for something outside of ourselves to make us feel good, then of course we're going to be in trouble. There was a study done many years ago where they took kids and they would say to the kids, right, okay, you can have one marshmallow right now, or you can have two marshmallows or two bits of candy in 20 minutes if you wait. So 1 right now or 2 in 20 minutes. And then what they did is they followed these kids through life. I'm not sure how many years over, you can look this up, it's kind of everywhere online, it's a famous study. And the kids who waited 20 minutes to take the candy overall had a much more successful life because they were able to have that delayed gratification. Are you building up the resilience in your life to have delayed gratification? One of my biggest mistakes in life, or not mistakes, but just lessons to learn, was that even though I had immense patience with many things and I would create quite a lot of success in those parts of my life, there were other areas where I was short term. I wanted the quick win. I want the big win. It's almost like having that lottery ticket and going, yes, I've won millions. I noticed a pattern that kept on appearing over and over again. And we all go through this on some level. And I'm sure in your life, you've had times where you've been a short-term thinker. But ultimately, when we look for that short-term pleasure, and if we keep going to that short-term pleasure, we end up with long-term pain. However, if we're able to create the discipline and we're able to create the resilience in life and have that self-awareness to say, right, okay, emotionally I may want this, because remember, when we think short-term, it's an emotional thing. It's only your mind in that moment saying, okay, you've got some pain, therefore you're in danger, so we need to find something that feels good because that's going to comfort you and make you feel like you're safe. But if you're able to remind your mind that you're not in danger and that this is just a craving or this is just something that is there to make you feel good right now, then what you get to do is you get to create that discipline. And it doesn't take long. You can decide from today, okay, let me become self-aware, because it is about self-awareness to create confidence, to look at your behaviors and look at your go-to things. And I'm not asking you to cut out every bad habit that you have right now, but to create an awareness around the habits that you have and see when you are going for something emotionally and you are going to that short term. And like the kids with the marshmallows, yeah, so the ones that waited 20 minutes, they overall had a more successful life. The ones who got that candy or that marshmallow right now, they struggled more with life. And again, you can look into this study even more. I'll actually find a link and put it in the description for you as well. What are you doing in your life right now that is stealing away from your ultimate self? And the reason why I use the word stealing is because every time we reach for that short term and we keep going to that short term, that's exactly what we're doing. We're stealing from our ultimate potential. When I got in control of money, because that was one of the areas I had a poor relationship with, and I changed my relationship into a more positive one. And I said, right, okay, I'm going to stop stealing from my future, because every time I was looking at something short term, say I had a holiday, well, that's costing me 3 holidays later on, or that's costing me a deposit on a property, or that's costing me whatever it is in the future. And it's about finding enough joy, enough fulfillment, and yeah, just enough purpose here and now, so you don't feel that constant need and push to go for the external. I do feel grateful every single day because I love where I live. Like my home here, I'm so grateful every day. My girlfriend, she's amazing. We've been together now for over 18 months. I love what I do, and I've learned, and it's taken a lot of just kind of centering and grounding myself to a point where I don't really need or crave the bad habits like that. I stopped drinking about a year ago. I haven't really touched alcohol since. I don't crave for like sugar like I used to. I feel a lot healthier as a result. And also I used to find times where I get negative or overwhelmed or anxious. And fortunately, by finding enough happiness and gratitude, and also knowing that, you know, we can have like validation in this world by owning things, right? And being like, I'm gonna own this and buy this, yes, that makes me feel good because I just bought that. Or we can have that by not doing those things, by being able to say no and create those disciplines of knowing when to say yes and knowing when to say no. But what I want to urge you to do to start increasing your confidence is to start to think long term and start to also study the power of long-term thinking over short-term thinking. Because at the end of the day, yes, we're all working along this scale. We're trying to move away from pain because our mind sees it as danger, and we're trying to move towards safety or pleasure. But unfortunately, that system is set up for our ancestors who were in those hostile environments. So if you found a tree or you found a cave to live in with your family, you'll find that pleasure. So you're like, okay, we stay here. But now, as soon as we experience any type of pain, instead of going through the pain and seeing that pain as an action signal, what we end up doing is just shortcutting it and saying, you know, just brush it under the carpet and let me just go for something that's gonna make me feel good right now. Of course, you wanna feel good right now, but look for those internal things. Find the simple things that a lot of them are free, where you can really get that sense of, wow, I feel so amazing. That's why gratitude is such a powerful tool for the mind, the spirit, and the body, because you are seeing and getting appreciation from everything that is around you right now. You're not in expectation mode. Oh, I need that, I want that. So that's today's message. Move from short-term to long-term thinking, and you're always going to be challenged on this. The journey never ends. There's no finish line. So every day remind yourself, what are you doing for the long term? How are you building? I know the world rewards all these short-term things because that works to our primal brain, but let's play long term, shall we? So thank you so much, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.